So, episode number 3. Number 5. Episode number 5. First time we've got 3 people on a podcast. So, for ourselves. So we've got 2 guests this week. I've got Kinch and I've got Stevie Nix. So these are 2 people that I met in my time in Lanzarote, now dotted in different places, and just thought we'd all jump on and see how we can get on today. So welcome, lads. I'm going to we'll start with you, Kinch. Where are you at the moment, mate?
I'm in Tenerife.
And how's things in Tenerife at the moment?
Yeah, it's all right, taking over nicely. Streets are pretty quiet. There's still a few people roaming around in the day, but not many. Like, you're allowed out with your dog, and which is grand. You're allowed to go to the shop, and the supermarket's only around the corner from me, so you get a few people walking down towards that. But yeah, sun's up. It's all right. So standing on my balcony, grand.
Happy days. And then Stevie, you're based in Dublin now, is that right, or just outside?
No, I'm in Newbridge, mate, about 40 miles south of Dublin. A lovely town, bustling town, very, very busy. Lovely bars, kind of always busy as well. Got a big shopping centre there as well. Yeah, it's a really nice place, to be fair.
And is it busy at the moment, or
no?
Is it a different ballgame?
No, it's dead. But it's still not what I would have thought was going to happen when we had the lockdown. Like, if you go into town, which I've kind of done a couple of times just to try and get a few bits of shopping, there's still quite a few people floating around, and kind of everybody's giving each other's daggers, kind of in the kind of sense of, is your journey necessary? Kind of daggers, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you look and see what they're carrying, you know, and you see people with a paintbrush. You don't need that, mate. Come on. I'm out to get protein bars. You know, my shopping is vitally important, but yours is
worth shit.
Not.
Yeah. Okay, and what have we been up to for the last little while, lads? Because we haven't spoken in ages, to be fair. So for the people listening, how many years has it been?
7 years this week for me and Steve. That was my wedding anniversary the other day. And it would have been 6 years for me and you with the Prodigy concert the year after.
That was a while back. And then, Steve, we saw each other last at one of Rory's gigs, I would assume, up in Dublin.
Oh, up in Whelan's.
Yeah, that was a while back, wasn't it? So that was many years ago. I've got Rory on tomorrow, actually, so that should be good. But yeah, it's been a while. So obviously we all met in Lanzarote. We were living in the sun, having fun. Kinch is still living in the sun, having fun.
I couldn't bear to leave it.
And we got moved to Ireland, Steve. The power of the pussy, man.
Everybody does, mate. You know, I think the one thing I find anytime I meet anybody English in Ireland, and I'm like, you got an Irish missus, haven't you? And they're like, yeah. we all get dragged over. You can't drag them to England, which is fair enough, because, and I don't want to offend any of your English listeners, but I don't think I could ever live in England again, because it's just full of chavs and stabbings and glue sniffers.
That's what we read, yeah, man. Yeah, that's what we read. Yeah.
I found I lived in South London for a year, and I found people more wary of me with the Irish accent than I was of them.
Let's give you a rucksack on, mate. Yeah. So how are you holding up in Ireland, Steve? How are you holding up in at the moment with the kids and the missus and you know, obviously all being isolated? Who's getting out? How are you getting out? Are you staying in? Are you taking it serious? What's it for you?
Well, firstly, I'm taking it very serious. I think you know, a lot of people. There's a lot of conspiracies on Facebook. I've kind of had to not block, but snooze kind of about 50 people this week, because people are going fully retarded. Not even a little bit retarded. They're going fully retarded. The fact of the matter is, when you look at the numbers coming out of Italy and Spain, where you're looking at 700-800 a day, and they've been in lockdown for 2 weeks. I believe
we're in our third week.
3 weeks. Yeah. Imagine now that they hadn't done that lockdown. It wouldn't be 700-800 a day. You'd be talking thousands a day. Yeah. And I mean, that's nasty figures. That's just one country. That would just be Spain. That would just be Italy. That'd be the same in France. That'd be the same in the UK. It'd be the same in Germany. People have no idea of the absolute carnage that would have happened had we not been quarantined. So I think a lot of the misinformation on Facebook, I saw the Brazilian president got cock blocked from Facebook and basically his post taken down because he went full retard. But the problem is he's denying it and they've blocked him. But I'd say at least 10% of my friends on Facebook are completely oblivious to either what's happening, they think is a conspiracy, they think people aren't dying, or they think people are dying, but they're dying of I don't know what.
5G or whatever else is being sprouted.
I'm actually going to start selling tinfoil hats. I'm going to be a millionaire this time next week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the funny thing is as well, because we've obviously got a lot of mutual friends, right, on these social media platforms, and I have asked 2 or 3 of the people that are happy to put it up on Facebook about conspiracy theories and what their thoughts are, and this is not real, etc. I've asked 2 or 3 different people to come on and have a chat, and not one of them is happy to do so as yet. So I'm like, you're happy to put it on social media where a few thousand people could potentially see it, or just come and have a chat about it? Oh, no, I'll leave that off for now. So that frustrates me a little bit.
I mean, having people think you're stupid is one thing, but having people know you're stupid is a whole different level. And if you was to come on here spouting the theories that some of these people believe, I mean, I'm incredulous by it. And the most important thing is it's dangerous what they're saying, because some people are stupid enough to believe it. But I mean, listen, these people, if you believed them, we wouldn't have microwaves, we wouldn't have TVs, we wouldn't have aeroplanes, because if you'd listened to conspiracy theories 50 years ago, you know, if them people had actually won the arguments, microwaves wouldn't have been made. Radio, there would have been a radio in the corner of the room. People like, oh no, look at that radio over there. That's going to give us all brain cancer. Let's turn that off. So it's madness. It's madness.
I think now just everyone gets to hear it and see it, and everyone gets an opinion that they can put out into the world, you know? So that's the difference.
And you know, the problem is the one thing that I've always found is I know that I'm fairly stupid in terms of I know a little bit about a lot, but I don't know a lot about anything. So that's why we have specialists. That's why when somebody spends 30 years learning about medicine, you have to take their opinion over your own opinion. You have to, if my car breaks, I take it to a mechanic. I don't message Sharon on Facebook and go, Sharon, do you know what's going on with my carburetor? Because you've got an opinion about everything else.
I know you're a big MMA fan, but it was one of the lines from somewhere again in kind of I'd rather go up against one man who's practiced 100 kicks once than someone who's practiced one kick 100 times, because they're going to nail you with that one, right?
Famous Bruce Lee quote,
Is it?
There you go. In terms of quarantine, I mean, I'm going against popular opinion here. I'm having a fucking great time. I'm loving it.
I says me too.
I'm getting a retirement, 20 years early retirement. This is. I wake up in the morning, turn on my PlayStation, 6 hours of PS4, cook the kids dinner. I'm getting a bit of exercise in as well. You might notice the gun show. It's fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it.
Me too. Picked up a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 shortly before this all kicked off. Big massive bag of weed, and I've just been sitting in every day fucking enjoying myself.
Man, you know, I'm a stoner as well, and you know it certainly helps with isolation. Does weed, mate? I'm telling you. I've never been fussed about going out anyway. But yeah, I've never been a gamer. Never really been a gamer. But yeah, I'm lucky enough. I got a bit of a back garden. I can kick a football with the kids, and they're on the trampoline, and do a bit of exercise and smoke my brains out. Man, this is easy work, mate. Easy work.
I don't have the luxury of a garden.
And that's the thing as well. When people going on Facebook like it's the end of the world. Get to fuck. People were sent to war when they were 15, 16. You know, just a century ago. You know, and we're being asked to stay at home and play fucking PlayStation for 2 weeks, eating myself stupid. Put on 4 kilos since this is all kicked off, because I'm just sat there eating shite every day. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is people need hobbies, and I suppose that's what the problem with the conspiracy theories is because when I'm bored, I go and play guitar for an hour, or I get on the piano, or I I'm actually involved in a couple of different forums as well. I'm involved in a Pro Evolution soccer forum. I'm also involved in a Spanish 11v11 manual league as well. I've just got endless things to do.
I've not played Pro Evolution Soccer since I was living with fucking Chris and Dave in Calle Remo in fucking Lanzarote. I'm shit you not. That was the last time I played Pro Evo or any sort of computer game, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
the
Is he still on Calle
I'm
Remo?
not surprised you quit. he is. Yeah, I saw. They had a baby actually. Yeah, they had a baby. Danielle and Dave had a baby.
Yeah.
So
holy fuck! I'll be honest with you. Since the second week of lockdown, I've only sort of started using Facebook again. I deleted all the apps and Messenger from my phone and everything. I've just shut myself off from the outside world and sort of was getting on with life with me and the missus. And obviously,
how's that going? How's everything going there? You're in Tenerife for a while now, are you?
How long am I here now? 6 years, 7 years now, almost. Yeah, I got lucky because like when I first came here, I was managing an Irish bar. Fantastic crowd to work for, but it was great money, but it was all cash in hand, and we were looking for a mortgage. So I jumped ship to the H10 hotel group, and I've been lucky now because since obviously there's no tourists on the island, there's nobody around. The hotel's been closed 2 weeks now. It sort of closed towards the end of the first week of lockdown. But we get 75% of our wages is covered by insurance, and the other half is covered by the company. So we touch wood. I was lucky there one, because if I was still in that Irish bar, I wouldn't be earning anything at the minute.
Yeah. And do you think the kind of tourist trade and stuff is going to suffer massively? I think it's going to take a while before anyone's willing to get on a plane and go that far afield, especially from kind of here, you know.
Yeah, it's going like the whole, even if you've just, like I said, I've been scrolling Facebook for the first time in years now, and you see photographs of all the car rentals parked next to the airport. There's just thousands of them because there's nobody on the island rented the cars, you know. They're just stuck them anywhere they can.
Fuck, yeah. What do you think, Steve? I mean, you've been back and forth to the islands and stuff. Do you think, from what you're hearing around the place now, would you take your family somewhere over there kind of anytime soon, or do you think we'll be allowed to?
Not anytime soon. I'll be honest with you. I see this going on for a kind of 3 months, 6 months. This isn't going to be a few week scenario. I think the problem was the governments internationally, they dropped the ball. They just dropped the ball.
Yeah, they were weren't they?
Yeah. The UK still had schools open up till last week, which is an absolute disgrace. And they've probably cost thousands and thousands of people their lives. When you look at it like that, I mean, it's an absolute disgrace. The tourist industry is going to be decimated.
Cheltenham was a fucking joke, lads.
I know. Utmost respect for the Spanish authorities here, because like that, obviously you've seen it on the news. There was the H10 hotel, was the Italian doctor was the first guy to test positive in Tenerife, and within an hour they were out and they had that hotel cornered off, nobody in, nobody out. You know, I have utmost respect for them because they've been on the ball over here. They really, really have. They've been strict, but lenient sort of strict, if you know what I mean. You know, so they've been really, really good over here. They're stopping people on the streets. Why? Where are you going? And all that. So they've like I said, we're on our third week over here. Obviously, some people, you know, in the like PRs, I wonder how they're getting on.
Jeez, yeah.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of people that are going to be struggling massively, but unfortunately, if you want to save millions of lives, you are going to have to take a little bit of internal struggle. Going back to it, Boris Johnson has absolutely had a mare, because he started off with this herd immunity theory, which I don't know where they wheeled that expert out of. They obviously just found him in a pub somewhere and said, come on, mate, we want to keep the economy going. Can you get on TV and just trot out some herd immunity bollocks? They've obviously wheeled him out, and he's willingly got on TV and said, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to let everybody get it and it'll be grand, and that's the best way forward. And then obviously after about 2 weeks, he's seen thousands of people dying across Europe and then said, yeah, maybe I should listen to the World Health Organization and the rest of the experts instead of this one guy I found in the Dog and Duck down in Croydon to get on TV and start herding this shit
know that
out.
guy.
I think everybody knows
we've
that
both
guy.
spent time in Croydon, actually.
There was one of them guys.
Saints and sinners, not the Dog and Duck, mate.
He was 8 pints deep, and he was like, "You know what we should do here, lads? Not quarantine. Everyone should get it. What about the old people? Yeah, give it to the old people. Young people, give it to them as well." Absolute scandal. And I think in Ireland, the response here was not too bad, but I feel that we had a really good chance to stop it straight away because we are, as the name suggests, the island of Ireland. If they had shut the airport straight away and the ports, I mean, that would have been massive.
It's Cheltenham that I don't get how they can let everyone back. Yeah, just crack on there, lads. Do you know? You'll be grand.
We got to have a horse racing, though, Nick. Obviously, don't worry about people dying, mate. Let's get these horses on the track.
People getting on the tubes in London as normal, isn't it?
They're on the tubes, as normal.
Madness,
Nothing's changed.
I have no idea what is going through people's minds. But like, I'm in Centra here, and I see people no gloves, no mask. And listen, I'm not saying everyone has to do that. I'm a little bit more wary because I'm, getting on a bit. So I'm like, I'll get my gloves on, get my mask on, and because why not?
I've not done a mask yet. Now, to be fair, I've done the gloves a lot, but I've not done a mask yet. No,
I do the mask, and I get a few dodgy looks, and I kind of look them back, thinking, but you're going to be dead in a week, so.
Well, like we only left the house the first 2 weeks just to walk the dogs. We were and there's the other day you're not allowed to go into here if you're driving in the car. It's only to the supermarket, or they've supermarket, the doctors, the bank, or coming or to from work, as long as you have a valid letter from work. So I went to the supermarket the other day for the first time just to pick up a few bits and bobs to keep us ticking over. It was so many they were on the ball here. The security's at the door of the supermarket. There's a little thing there. There's hand sanitizer and there's gloves. They don't give you a face mask because they aren't shortage. I did have my own going into the supermarket. There's a big sort of open space in front of the supermarket itself. Like, you take a number, it's so many in, so it's like one in, one out. There's only I think there's only 20 in at a time, and you all have to keep your distance within the supermarket. They're even at the meat counters, they have a green line in front of it, like a meter in front of it, and you order from there.
They're bringing all that over here. To be fair, that's starting to happen down in Cork. I don't know what's happening up there, but
they're really on the ball over here.
I suppose for us, we're like, that's what we're doing. But when we've lived on the islands of the Canaries, man, they're fairly relaxed about most things. So. Putting a green line down on the floor could have taken normally about 8 weeks. Do you know?
No, very true.
Yeah. And Steve, I know that you're a fan of jiu-jitsu and been practicing for a while. That's not a very social distancing type kind of activity. So what have you been up to? Have you been doing that?
Well, no, I haven't. I'll be honest with you. It's been it's been awful over here for that. Jiu-jitsu is probably the fastest growing sport in Ireland. I know at least kind of 10 jiu-jitsu gyms within an hour of where I live. All of them have memberships of 100 plus. It's a fast growing sport, but like you say, you are basically men in pajamas hugging each other with the aim of choking them out. Basically since it stopped, I suppose it's been 2 weeks now. I know some people are doing like online kind of content.
I see Paddy Houlihan's doing that. Yeah, he was doing some online course for his members. I watch his stuff. Yeah.
The funny thing is, before all this started, one of the gyms, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, used to do an online program, and everybody else used to rip the piss out of it and call it a muck dojo. And you can't learn anything online. And
now they're all at it.
Now everyone's like that. Well, you can learn online, but you have to do it with us, you know? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Listen, I've got injuries from head to toe from jiu-jitsu, so I'm delighted to have. I can see it being 3 or 4 months off. I'm going to keep myself. I do a little routine out the back every day. I've started getting my son, because he's like me. He's going to be a chubby fucker. So we do like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 kettlebell swings. I've been running as well. Do like last week I did 25k, week 4 25k. This week I'm probably going to knock it on the head, to be honest with you. But yeah, just keeping going. I mean, I miss the jiu-jitsu because I'll be honest with you, I was going 4 days a week, and tapping out white belts and wrist locking white belts and leg locking white belts was pretty much my reason to get out of bed in the morning. I really enjoy it, but not sure they enjoy 100 kilo locking them, but I enjoyed it.
You're saying 100 press ups, 100 sit ups. I actually sat in my chair and I kind of shuddered a little bit. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I just do it in sets of 10. It's handy. It takes 30 minutes.
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
you don't soccer. Soccer was my thing. Soccer will always be my thing.
Fuck that.
I do fuck all else, mate. I like
dog walking's the best you get out of it.
I bought an exercise bike the other day. I'm sat on it with a joint in my mouth going, I can do two things at once here now. It's not one or the other. So, it's handy enough, man.
Exercise bikes, I think nearly every shed in Ireland's got an exercise bike in it.
yeah.
I'm going to lose weight. Of course you are, love. Get out to the fucking shed. We watch have a can.
Yeah. Lads, cool. So we've been on for 20 minutes, and I like to keep these to about half an hour because I think they're more digestible that way, and you're not taking too much people's time. And I think I'm definitely going to revisit a good few people as this process goes on through time and see how they're see how chirpy they are in 6 weeks' time. But a couple of questions, because we've just been chatting away, which has been great. But what kind of things are you looking forward to getting back to when we do, or if we do get back to some normality? And what are the things that you want to leave behind? And what are the things that you're doing to help you get through this kind of tough process? So let's talk about the things that you're doing to get through this process at the moment. And Stevie, what are you up to at the moment? Apart from doing a bit of exercise and playing PlayStation.
Well, I mean, that's it. I've got a nice routine. Wake up, bit of PlayStation, bit of exercise, bit of PlayStation. 7:00 every night is TV time with the wife. Sit down and watch a bit of TV. That normally goes on for a couple of hours. She's normally snoring by 9. Back on the PlayStation for a bit of FUMA, which is the full manual Pro Evolution Soccer. I actually play with the Spanish team, which is quite weird because I only started playing with them a couple of weeks ago, and it's basically 9 Spanish guys and me, and obviously they're all speaking Spanish, and I just kind of zone out because.
But you speak a bit of Spanish, like we all speak a bit of Spanish. Yeah. Kinch is probably, because he's surrounded by it every day. I'm lucky
I'm
that
in
my work
hotel now, so I have to.
With my work, I'm still around a few Spanish speakers, but when I'm surrounded by it, I get a bit, but you lose it very quickly. I remember you teaching me a lot of stuff, Steve. What's your story with that?
My Spanish is good, man. My no problems with my Spanish. But the thing is, when you're in a lobby and there's 10 people and you're on the mic,
it's difficult.
I can. If somebody addresses me, then I understand them. I talk to them. Apart from that, I just sit there with my gin and just get it down me. And I was saying that to the wife last night. It's like, I can. If any one of them is talking to me, I can understand it perfectly. No worries. I can respond perfectly. But when they're all talking as a group, I just take the back seat.
I'm the same. Even though my Spanish has come on an awful lot, I'm still quite poor on the phone, or I'm like face to face, brilliant.
Because you use our hands to talk, right?
Yeah, the Spanish use their hands an awful lot, and you can understand them a lot more.
Pointing at stuff, yeah, it works. And Kinch, what are you doing to get through this kind of time, man?
Well, my routine is get up every morning, walk the dog, sit down, have the PlayStation for a few hours. The missus got her Netflix, and then we take turns walking the dogs throughout the day. That's the only reason we're allowed out. And then in the evenings, we either sit down and play cards together, or maybe watch a movie. So I just say,
tipping away. Yeah, I'm working Monday to Friday, lads. I'm actually kind of,
You're working from home.
Working from home, yeah. I'm lucky enough my job can do that, but then it's the negative is that I don't feel like I'm still not getting much time with the kids or anything. It's just the norm, But hey, at least I've got an income coming in and I've not been let go, and I can work from home, so it's handy enough, I can't complain. But
I think the best thing about this is, I hope it could be the worst thing, but I'm actually better off. I'm getting more money off the government than I was getting for working. I'm delighted. I am. I'm just like,
me too.
Just win-win, man.
Yeah, but by the time it's all over, mate, I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna have money in the bank by the time this is all over.
If my boss said to me, "Listen, we have to let some people go. Here's a few quid," I'd be like, "All right, happy days. See you later."
I mean, listen, mate. I don't want to, mate, but I
don't want to. I love it, but if it has to happen.
I'll volunteer.
Listen, it's. I think it's just an eye opener for everyone in terms of what's important and what's not, and stuff like that. So, what are the things that you're looking forward to getting back to? I suppose, Steve, a bit of jiu-jitsu for you. Kinch, what's your story, man?
I suppose a takeaway.
A nice takeaway.
It's still open here.
Yeah. And what about you, Steve? I mean, I know jiu-jitsu would be one thing for you, but is there anything else that you're looking forward to getting back to?
Not really. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I miss the social aspect at work. It's good to go in there and have a bit of a laugh as well while I am working. I've got a lot of mates that I work with. So, we have a good bit of banter while we're there. It's not just work, and it's not. I work in a bar, so it's not like I'm down a mine for 12 hours a day. I go in and do my bit, and that's it. So in regards to jiu-jitsu, obviously, I was hoping to compete 10 times this year, and I've competed twice this year, and then obviously this happened, and I've probably already missed out on 2 or 3 competitions. And I'll be honest with you, I can't see the competition scene going until, if it even comes back, it could be years, because I mean, the way that this is going, only one person needs to have it for the whole fucking country to shut down, doesn't it? Really? I mean,
yeah.
Can I ask you, what's your opinion on the recovery rate coming out of China at the minute?
In terms of
coming out of China,
if you look at the numbers, that it's like recovery rates in most of Europe of like Italy, 80,000 upwards of affected recovery rate in its teens, thousands. China was like close to 100,000 infected. Recovery rate was 70,000. So that's almost 70%.
Okay. Well, from what I saw, is the Chinese have only 7% of Chinese are over 70, whereas in Italy it's 27%. China got rid of all the old people during communist regime, which is obviously the best way to wheel them out and turn them into glue. So China has got a very young population compared to Italy, which has a very old population. I mean, I was looking at the fatality rates in Italy, and it's close to 10%. Which is insane. But then you look at Germany, and Germany's running less than 1%. Now,
do you know what this is? What do you think of this? Because this is something that has been come up a few times, I am a fair believer. If you think of Spain, Italy, and France, where it's massive rates, and then you think of somewhere like Germany. In Germany, they're very formal. There's no kissing when you meet each other, whereas in these other countries, there's a lot of greeting and more kissing. Do you think that could spread it a lot quicker? From what we're told, it probably could, Luke.
Oh, absolutely. The closer you get, the worse it's going to be, isn't it? And I think the Germans are just very efficient. They've got a very efficient health system. You don't manage to kill 6 million Jews unless you're efficient. So,
fucking hell, man.
Listen, I didn't do it. It was them, not me.
Oh, fucking hell.
But, the efficiency.
All thoughts and opinions are of the guests themselves.
Listen, efficiency is very bad during a genocide, but it's very good if you're preventing a virus. And I think that's the thing. The German healthcare system is probably one of the best in the world. I mean, you look at the UK health system after 10 years of Tory rule, and it's been absolutely decimated. And one of my brothers actually deleted me on Facebook because I'm obviously anti-Tory, especially at the moment. And people are going mad by it. People are standing by Boris Johnson like he's their own brother. I'm like, listen,
they're doing it with the other actor as well, though. But they're like, look what they've done. They've done this. They've done that. And I'm like, yeah, man, they've done fuck all. It seems that it seems to be a similar sort of situation on both sides of that water there now. I don't know.
Crazy times.
And lads, is there anything you're happy to leave behind? Is it like, as an example for me, I think we'll all appreciate the outside a lot more when we get back, and I think we'll leave, as much as we're all glued to social media, and I don't think it's going to go away. I think the appreciation of the outside and nature will certainly be embraced when we get back to normality, if we ever get back to normality. Is there anything you're happy to leave behind, and anything you kind of want to bring that's happened from this experience? Kind of, the friendliness of people and the helping of each other seems to be a general gist. What's your thoughts there? Let's go with you, Kinch, to start with.
What I'd be happy to leave behind? Well, you kind of have me there. I don't know.
I'll let you have a think, because Steve's probably got a few things. What you got, Steve? Ever think there, Kinch?
I'm not sure, really. I mean, I'm looking forward just to really kind of the world going back to normal. I quite like normality, but at the same time, this hasn't been bad. This has been like a semi-retirement for me. But instead of retiring when you're old and you're ready to croak, I'm having my retirement now while the kids are still young.
Chilling.
Yeah, the one thing I'm going to try and maintain some rules for life, kind of exercising daily. I want to keep that going because I tend to kind of. I'd be training 4 days a week, but then 3 days a week, I would just kind of, I've done enough this week. Whereas I think it's for my mental health, it's good to do it every day. Just get it done. Regards to that, I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully the bars picking up in Ireland because you probably haven't seen this, Kinch, but Nick, you'll know yourself. Bars in Ireland, especially in Newbridge, we've got a population of around, I think it's about 30 to 40,000. It's a big, big town. We've got about 10 pubs, and out of them 10 pubs, 2 are busy. And the rest are shit. No offense to anybody in Newbridge who's listening to this and you own or work in one of them said shit bars. But
It's just the fact well, that's why no one's getting into them, because they're shit.
Yeah, but I think the problem is, obviously, it's a financial thing as well. You know yourself, Nick, you go out, it's 100 quid before you've stepped out the door. You get your babysitter in, that's 40 quid. Taxi, bang, another tenner. Dinner, 50 quid, and then you're smashing in the egg bombs. The only people really that have money to go out drinking the only people that have money to go out drinking in Ireland are people living at home with their mum and dad. And as soon as you have kids, you're fucked. I'd probably go out. Me and the missus go out twice a year if we're lucky. So, but I think after this, I'm going to make it once a month. Try and get out with the missus and.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That's why I couldn't go back to Ireland. Like, it's like the only thing I miss there is me fresh milk and me potato crisp.
Well, we can send you
potato crisp over there. Yeah. That's not a bother, mate. Yeah. Cool. Lads, it's been a pleasure. We're at the 32-minute mark, so that's really cool. So I'll wrap it up and wish you both a very safe time over these next however long it's going to be, few months and for the future. If this goes on for another few weeks, I might even tap back up and we'll go again and see how you're getting on. But great chat. Thanks for your time today, and stay safe, lads.
Yeah, you too, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Good talking to you.
Take care, boys.
Take care, everyone.
Later.